every part of me wants, if I met God face to face, to sit down and really hold him on trial, like for me to be the judge and like, you know, where have you been? Explain yourself, justify your actions. Every part of me would want to do that. But if the Bible is even remotely right, and if God is love, and if he's motivated by love, if that were true, then I feel like what's up, guys? So today I wanted to do a little bit of a thought experiment with you all, and that thought experiment is, what would I do or say or ask God if I literally met him face to face? And honestly, doing this thought experiment in my head before making this video, I actually had to really think about what I would ask, what I would say, which I didn't know it would be that difficult, but I guess in my mind, what I think is like, if I were to meet God face to face, that it would be something that wouldn't last long. And so I feel like it would have to be, I would have to come up with these really, really good questions that would like answer things once and for all for me with him. And I don't know why I feel like that. I guess it's because the people that claim to have seen God face to face or talk to God, it happens fast, like they're only there or with him or whatever for minutes, maybe sometimes. So I don't know. But as I'm asking these questions and doing this thought experiment, I'm sure you all have already been thinking, like, what would you ask God if you met him face to face? And I'm not just talking to the people who believe in God. I'm talking to atheists and people that are completely skeptical and maybe even cynical about anything spiritual or supernatural. I want to know what you all would say to God if you met him face to face. So for me, I think the first question I would ask, which just might seem like a stupid question, but there's a reason behind it, is, are you real? And I mean, it seems like a stupid question, like, are you real? But the reality is that so many people will play off these sort of encounters or events or supernatural experiences as hallucinations, or as they're in like a dream-like state, or the brain is doing something and making up these things. I don't know. So for me, if it was something in my conscience, if it was something that wasn't real, I feel like for me, asking, are you real, would present an answer. But then again, we have a problem there, because I would want it to be real. So if it was in my conscience, if it was in like a dreamlike state, then it would say, yes, I'm real. So maybe I should think of a different way to ask that question. But then I would ask him, are you the truth? Like, are you, I mean, there's so many people, so many religions have been started out of these supernatural encounters or experiences, and then whatever being they meet says, I am the true God. I am the true, like, this is, follow me. And so I'd be thinking to myself, like, am I seeing an angel of light, as the Bible puts it, or am I seeing the Father of lights? Am I seeing God? Am I seeing Jesus face to face? And actually, I think going back to the question, because I feel like these two questions kind of intertwine with each other, the are you real and are you the truth? But going back to the are you real question, I would ask for some sort of sign, something that, even if it was subjective to myself, I would ask for some sort of, when this encounter is over with, how will I know that this was real? Like, maybe it's I wake up and there's something there, or I come to and I don't know, something. It could be subjective, it could be whatever, but it would be, I would ask for, like, how, when I leave this encounter, how will I, not that I'd want to even, you know, I'd probably tell other people about it, but that doesn't mean that they would believe me. You know, if people have really seen God face to face, which they claim to, then obviously there's some sort of sign to them that it's real and it's subjective, because nobody else believes it. It's not an objective sign. So, and you know, that's fine for me, at least. That's fine. I wouldn't ask him for some objective sign that says, all right, I'm seeing you now. Now I need some sort of objective sign so that when I tell other people, that everyone will believe me. I don't really care if anyone believes me. I just want to know that I believe it. And obviously just because I believe it doesn't make it true, But to me, it would be this heart-to-heart connection. That it's like I feel a connection even though I'm still not in that encounter. And it's something I wouldn't be able to deny. It's something I wouldn't be able to fight. And like I said, I don't know what that would be, because obviously, like I just said, just because it's true for me doesn't mean it's truth. But if it was the God of the universe and he did present me with a subjective sign that was like a heart-to-heart kind of thing with me and him, then I think that it would just make sense. Let me put it that way. I would know that it's truth. I would know. And then I think the next question I would ask him is, how much do we have wrong about you? How much do we have wrong about our ideas of you? And how does the whole, Old Testament God and New Testament God, how to explain that to me? Because there's obviously a drastic difference there. So if that was you in the Old Testament and in the New Testament, how do you connect the two together? Because I feel like we maybe have gotten some wrong ideas about who you really are. If, like the New Testament says, if you are God is love, if you are love, then how do you explain the God of love doing the things that he's done or you've done, assuming I'm talking to God, in the Old Testament? And then I think after that, because I feel like that would go on to a longer conversation, that's if the encounter was lasting like hours. But the next question I would ask him is more of a personal question to me, is like, where have you been? And that's kind of looking at it from, okay, I know that you are true, I know that you are real, I know I am talking to the God of the universe. I would say, where have you been? And if you've seen my other videos, you know that like I've struggled with depression, I've struggled with suicidal thoughts, I've struggled with panic attacks, I've struggled with, I have Lyme disease that I was diagnosed with 1.5 years ago. Like, where were you in all that? Like, when I was in my room, like there was 2 weeks straight where I just thought I was gonna die, and I didn't know if I believed in you, but then I would cry out and I would still feel like I was gonna die. Like, where were you then? And I think an answer that he might say was like, I knew that you would be able to handle that kind of thing. And I say that because the lessons that I've learned out of like depression and suicidal thoughts and overcoming those things and panic attacks, like if you've seen my other YouTube videos, then you know, like, out of those struggles, like, I've learned so much, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. I wouldn't give it away for anything. I don't, obviously it's not like fun to have those kind of things happen to you. It's just life, but I really take those things and I'm like, what are the lessons that I can learn out of this? And maybe God knew that. Maybe God knew that I'm just that kind of person that can take those things and really learn from them. But then at the same time, I would say, okay, so is it subjective to the individual? Because there's other people that have had struggles with these things. There's other people who have died from panic attacks. So was that a kind of thing where you trusted them, but then they died? Like, how do you justify that? How does that work? So, I mean, in the end, I really wouldn't know what he would say to that, but it would just be a really interesting answer. So, all this to say, because I'm sure that those questions alone would provide me with, there would be an ongoing conversation there between me and him. But all that to say, I have to wonder if I came into contact with the true God who created the universe, if he is real and I came face to face with him, there would be some sort of immense amount of power there. Like, if he created reality, then he would be the most real thing I've ever witnessed or seen in my entire life. And I feel like that amount of power, I mean, just theoretically, that amount of power and that amount of whatever you want to call it was there. I don't even think that I would think. I think that it would be one of those moments where I'm just kind of like in jaw-dropping awe. Like, I don't even think, I think I would just be tripping on my own words like I am now. I think that I wouldn't even, these questions wouldn't even come to mind, because, you know, every part of me wants, like, if I met God face to face, to sit down and really hold him on trial, like for me to be the judge, and like, you know, where have you been? like explain yourself in this way, like justify your actions. Every part of me would want to do that. But if the Bible is even remotely right, and if God is love, and if he's motivated by love, and even in the Old Testament things, I don't know how that would be motivated by love, but if that were true, then I feel like I would be coming into contact with love. And so none of these questions, like maybe none of these questions would even matter. Maybe I would just see him, and then these questions would just kind of float away. Like I don't even care because I know. So I have to take that into consideration as well. But enough about what I think. So in everything that I've said, and everything that I've talked about, and even the questions that I've asked, what would you ask God if you met him face to face? I don't care if you're Christian, I don't care if you're Hindu, I don't care if you're Buddhist, I don't care what religion you are, atheist, even though it's not a religion. But what would you say to God if you met him face to face? Would you hold him on trial? Would you just spend time with him? Would you just treat him like a friend? Or would you really kind of want to do what I do and just like sit him down and hold him on trial, like I just said? Man, I repeat myself a lot. Alright, so guys, thanks for watching. I have a lot of other videos in the making. One on the difference of faith and belief, another one about the multiverse and the science of heaven, or the science of the supernatural, and also a video that a couple people have suggested on what is true Christianity, like the difference between organized religion / religion. I think they're the same exact thing, and then spiritualism and spirituality. So those are some of the videos I have in the making. Like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you misfits in the next video. Peace!